Hello, hello.
Hey Eva,
Everybody.
how are you?
Yeah, great to see you all again. We are recording. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so I'm just gonna tune into the energies and see what comes through today. I mean, first of all, the energies that are coming in or the light. So for people, um, I often use the word light and I use the word energy and information, and it's really all the same. Like I see it all as being the same. Light or energy is just information. So just the vibrate or vibration, also same thing, is information that our energy field is picking up and starts understanding, or the energy field understands it. Um, yeah, so I use all these words to point at the same thing. And sometimes when I say the energies, that it's just the experience of it is very strong. So I just feel it coming in very strong. So the experience to every cell of my body is vibrating, and there's just very strong feedback from the body that there are energies coming in. And right now, for example, I see a lot of light. Um, I also feel it in the body, but it's really, I also see bright light. So with my eyes closed, I just see this beautiful, bright, uh, very activating light. It's related to the one from last week. It's also a light that wants us to um, bring something forward, to address certain things, um, and then basically have the possibility with that to transform something major. So something that we have carried around for quite some time. And so again, it's this activating light um, that's present right now, similar than last week. And so I'll look into that. Yeah, and I see it's already working on a level of the mind, and it's pointing out the thoughts. I mean, in most meditations, I say the same thing. So I say when I clear surface energies on the level of the thoughts, it's really just, when there's energy stuck, there are a lot of stories in our minds. So there's the mind comments on everything that we're doing. It has an opinion on everything and it can predict everything. So you probably know that, right? So when the mind just has an idea about everything and it's going on and going on. Um, and the energies that are present that really want us to understand that these thoughts are not us, first of all. So we are not the thoughts. Our system processes information or energy in the way it does. But it really has nothing to do with who we really are. It's just part of the human system. And also, the thoughts are not true. It's just stories. It's stories and stories. And we make them true because we start believing them to be true. And then they are our reality. Um, and I get the information that this is just, yeah, an issue for quite a few people. They get caught in their thoughts, mostly negative thoughts, and the energies that are present just want to make aware that this is happening. And also, I see the energies working on the level, on the mind level. I just call it the mind level, um, to help that the system just has less thoughts. And if there are thoughts that we don't identify with them. So we don't believe them to be true. They just take us away from the present moment. Yeah, and also the so I see we have like the vibration in our field, right? So depending on the vibration we're at, this creates the life experience. And it doesn't matter if we have negative thoughts, it doesn't change the vibration of the core of the system of the core. So don't worry, it's not like that. But still, um, when we have negative thoughts, then this is where our focus goes, right, onto the negative thoughts. And then more of that they just basically appear. So more of that stuff is then appearing, more of the negativity is appearing in our everyday life experience. You probably have had an experience when you were, for example, on Facebook or on YouTube, and you had negative thoughts about something, or in general, a lot of thoughts, and suddenly information, videos around the theme start popping up. You know, it's just like that. So the thoughts also have a resonance, and it can be also in real life, like we can have an experience in real life, but yeah, this YouTube example is just, I've heard it from quite a few people before that they had this example. Yeah, and it's just when people are staying in this loop with certain thoughts, then also this starts to manifest in our life experience, just part of it as well. And it's not about exchanging negative thoughts to positive ones, because they're still stories. And so the thing would be, okay, first we believe the negative story and now we believe the positive story. I mean, it's a possibility, but we want really get out of the story. So we want to have as much awareness that we understand, and we just see the thoughts are playing out. We are not the thoughts. It's just something in our system, and we don't need to engage with them. And that we really, like, from our core level of our being, understand, or it's not only an understanding, it's really like a knowing that they are not true. But this is what we want. This is what the energies are supporting right now. So we don't want to stay in the story, in the content, in the, another word, in the dream of this reality. Like, we want to get out of it. And this, the thoughts are just parts of that. So replacing negative thoughts for positive ones is not really the goal. It's letting go of them, understanding we're not them, and then when they still move through the system, yeah, that we just allow them to move through, and that's it. Like, there's no engagement happening, there's no identification happening. It's like, okay, and then they're gone. Up and up, they're gone. It happens really fast. And we talked about this last week in the Q&A. Somebody shared that, yeah, like, even when they pop up and you see them and then they're gone, you forgot that they were there. And this is really how I see this, that the systems are changing towards that. And if something is important, you know, it's different, then it comes into our life experience anyways. So these random thoughts have nothing to do with life itself. Like, they're not needed. If we need to think about something, remember something, use our mind in the way of the focus, I just call it the focus, using the focus, it's very different versus just having this random stuff, these random energies moving through. Yeah, and this seems to be very important, and I understand it. I see also as very important. It's a drastic change in life experience when the thoughts are not as strong anymore, or we don't identify with them anymore. It's just such a big difference in experience. Yeah, and then also what I'm getting is, when we have negative thoughts and we connect more to negative information, of course this has a vibration as well, then more of these negative thoughts just come in. You know, they just, more of them are being created, really. So again, it's all about not connecting to low vibrational information, because just more comes into our experience then. So it's about connecting to things that you prefer, that bring joy into your current life experience, or at least neutrality, you know, something neutral, also fine, but not something that's low vibrational, that's negative, that closes down your system, that creates fear and all of that. Yeah, so I just see the energies working very strongly to support this, so that's great. Support this understanding of things and creating this distance between who you are and the thoughts. Yeah, okay, great. That's the information. Yeah, it's interesting because I guess everybody knows that, right? Or most people know that, but it's very hard not to believe the thoughts. I totally get it. Okay, great. And I just want to share that next week is the Malaga retreat, and the Thursday meditation is still on as usual. So we're just gonna live stream from there. And also the online participation. So if you want to join us online, there's a more detailed description on my website. If you want to join us, please do. And I got quite a few questions about if people can't join like the actual sessions. And it doesn't matter because it's about the energy of the retreat. So if you, for example, are in a different time zone, you are still in this energy and you receive the recording in the evening of every day. And so you can, like, when you receive the recording, you could do the meditations then. Yeah. And then same on the next day. So that's no problem at all. Okay, great. Then let's start the meditation. For people who haven't been here before, this is a guided meditation, half guided, half silent. And what you can do is just sit back, relax, and meditate along. Close your eyes and just, observe and allow the energies to come in to work on your system and see what happens. There's nothing else you need to do. Just enjoy. Yeah. And after that, there is time to chat, ask questions, and so forth. And the whole session is being recorded and uploaded on YouTube later on. So if you don't want to be shown, just turn off the camera when we have a conversation. And yeah, okay, enjoy. I start with the opening of the energy field. Bring in light. Then I expand the energy field. Expanding the energy field helps to hold more light in the system, and also more awareness comes with that as well. So I'm expanding. The energy field can always be more expanded. It's a never-ending process. We can always carry more light or be more of light. And light is higher information, and this information is transforming our system and also the life experience. Then I fill up the expanded space with light. And I'm going to expand the space around you even more. So yeah, I'm going to expand it to, like, it's actually going to be a few more meters wide, wider now. I'm just going to expand it, and you can just, yeah, feel into the expansion. Feels very beautiful. You're a lot bigger than that anyways, but it's more about perceiving. I mean, we're all infinite, but like, how much can we actually perceive? How much can we experience of this expansion? And so I'm basically just now expanding the energy field even more. Maybe you can feel it. It's really nice. Yeah. Then I clear the surface energies. These are just energies that are floating around the top of your system, on the forefront. Just energies that are playing out, emotions that are present, other energies that are there. And what we want is we want to access the silence, the stillness, the clarity, the peace, this beautiful place of pure beingness, pure existence that's always there. And if you experience it already during your everyday life, that's awesome. This is exactly what we want. We want that this becomes the main experience. And that basically, when you are this, with the true nature, the human, of course, is still there, but compared to the true nature, the human experience then is more subtle compared to the experience of your true self. And this space is always there, so you can always connect. In meditation, you do it probably all the time anyways, but also in your everyday life experience. And then I clear the energies out of the level of the mind, so the surface energies, and this is exactly what I was talking about in the beginning. Just energies that get stuck on the level of the mind. So life energy. Usually life energy moves from the root chakra up to the crown chakra, falls back down left and right, and moves up again and so forth. And some of this energy sometimes gets stuck on the mind level because we're so used to use the mind, we're so used to believe our thoughts, to hold on to them, to engage with them. So they get stuck there. And if that part of the system is just open, the level of the mind, that means the life energy moves through, just moves up and out. And then, yes, on the level of the mind, thoughts can be created, but they, again, very fast moved out of the system. Same is with emotions. The emotions can still be there, but they're only there for the amount of time that they're needed, and then they move out of the system. And then it's really like as if they have never been here. The emotions, same with the thoughts, they have never been here when they're gone, because then there's a new moment, or this eternal one moment, whatever, however we want to call this or talk about this. Yeah. And it's nice when the mind gets quiet, or at least when we don't engage with thoughts, and they can just be there in the background. Yeah, and there's an energy present that brings in the information of peace. So this beautiful peace is present right now. And I can see that many systems are really needing this peace right now. The bodies are relaxing more. The system is opening up more and more light is present. And more of this beautiful peace energy. Also interesting, this peace energy, when it comes in, the heart chakra opens up more, meaning the heart really enjoys peace. So the heart opens beautifully. And our systems are right now adjusting or start vibrating to the information of peace, and the information in ourselves is being changed accordingly. And the thing is, peace and all other vibrations can only be experienced on the inside, or this is what the experience is. It's always on the inside. And it reflects on the outside. So if we want to have peace in our life experience, we have to find the peace within or connect to energies like the ones that are present right now to have this experience of peace. Because if we come, for example, from the vibration of fear and want to create peace on the outside, it will never work. Because the fear is inside, or other low vibration energies. So we could do so many things on the outside to create this peace on the outside. I'm just saying out and inside, it's easier to describe. But the peace is always within, or the fear is also within. It's always about working on what's within. And I see that this peace is coming in, so that it needs energies like fear and anxiety and similar energies, so they are being met, and then they can dissolve and be neutralized. So a lot of healing and clearing is happening right now. What you can do is just relax more, allow this healing to happen. And interesting, I see also energies are popping up, like energies that want justice, or energies of empathy, for example. Yeah, they exist, they're there, but they're also in the way of the peace, in the way of peace. They're being cleared as well. And I can see how this peace energy also moves into the heart chakra. It works on the heart chakra. very strongly. I'm just getting this image. So the peace energy also meets the inner child that needs comforting and yeah, all sorts of different things like safety and love and so forth. And so this energy is really working on healing and clearing that as well. Because it's just old energies from our past, which are in our system right now, right? Even though we have experienced this a long time ago. So there is no need for them anymore. Maybe you can experience the change in, yeah, in how you feel. There is more this joy of existence present. Because when there is more of these core wounds and these, yeah, traumas are leaving the system, more joy can be present. When there's peace here, needing all these energies that need peace, more joy can be present. Joy of existence. The joy of existence is part of, yeah, experiencing the true nature. So when we are the true nature, joy of existence is there all the time. It's like a side effect. And I can see that from the level of the heart chakra, it's really ready to let go of the low vibration stuff, of the trauma, of the past. Like it's honestly, it doesn't want this anymore. It feels, it knows differently than the mind knows, but it knows that, let's say, the future is brighter, life experience is more enjoyable, more spiritual progress can happen when this stuff is gone. So there is absolute this understanding in the system, and that's specifically in the heart chakra. And so it's like, okay, no, I let this go now because it's time. It's just time. Because when we're out of this low vibrational stuff, or when we have cleared a lot of trauma, and most of it, it's not over, spiritual progress or expansion is not over. This is when like the good part starts. Because then we can explore, or we can live. We come from curiosity or whatever, but from a whole different way of being. I also see now that because the heart chakras are beautifully being cleared and opened up more, so this energy of peace specifically moves through our system and moves out of the heart chakra into the collective as well, which is, yeah, always beautiful when this happens. Meaning this is an offering for others. a lot of systems probably have never connected to peace really, when and now I just see these energies coming in every now and then, giving this offering for others so that they can connect. And yes, this often happens on a subconscious level, or a recognition happens on that level. But it's like this beautiful little seed, or a different word, the system remembers. And then change starts to happen also for them. So, and you can feel, this is always when we send energies to the collective, you can feel it coming from the back as well. So towards you, like from all areas, the back and the sides, because we're in this field of the collective as well at one level. And yeah, and this is basically the feedback, feeling the energies from all directions, that this is actually happening, what we're doing here. How can change occur, or transformation? It happens through us. People like us, people who do this work. By being connected to truth, to the true nature, to these energies. Life experience, our system is changing, then life experience starts to change accordingly. This is the change. This is what it is. So it happens through us, not to us. It's very important. I get this is very important for this information. Because this is also like allowing for some systems here, because some systems still feel very small and unimportant, and yeah, just the opposite of what they really are, so they feel limited. And this just helps these systems also to allow themselves to become more of what they are. And this is massive, big, expanded, strong, infinite, and so forth. If you want, you can now use a few moments and send the peace energy through the heart chakra. You can just do it like through the heart chakra, or send just the intention. You can send it to someone if you want, like family, friends, someone where you feel you need it, to a place, to a country, whatever, to earth, wherever you feel peace is needed. You can do this now for a few minutes. Let's sit in silence for a few minutes, and we can do this together. You can also feel the increase in energy right now, because we're all using the intention. Fascinating. Yeah, beautiful. And you can feel the difference. It's like the peace is increasing so much by us doing this. So beautiful. Okay, then let's sit with this. Allow this peace energy to, yeah, to work on your system, to still move into the collective. The other stuff is happening, of course, as well. So let's sit with this for the next 25 minutes in silence and yeah, just enjoy. We are finished. Thank you everybody so much for joining. That was beautiful. I loved when everyone was sending peace energy, or at least a few people did it, and then the increase of the strength of the light was just insane. So yeah, very beautiful. Yeah, if anybody has a question, please let me know. You can unmute yourself now. And yeah, thank you everybody so much for joining. That was beautiful today. So thanks for being here.
Thank you, Eva. This was magic.
Thank you, Florian.
Thank you, Eva.
Oh yeah. Thank you. Okay. Hi, Maria.
Hi, Eva.
Hi.
I thank you so much for the new enhancer, the hormonal balance.
Mm-hmm.
It is for me very great, very great. And my life is so much unfolding.
Mm-hmm.
Everything happens at the right time, and I'm not so much in Sorge.
All right. You're trying to get out.
Yes, I like it very much.
So have
Thank
you ever been?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yes,
Yes, no, it's not so much worries. You don't have so many worries. Yeah,
yes,
great.
worries. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
Amazing. I'm happy. And yeah, let me know how it goes with the hormonal balance.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
We see us in Knitterfeld, and then
Mhm.
I told you.
Yeah, amazing. Then we can speak a little bit in German as well.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing and for being here today. Yeah, thank you very much. Okay. Oh yeah, and there's also a new enhancer, pineal gland clearing and activation one. So if anybody's interested in that, that's new now. Okay, anybody else maybe has a question? Hi, Sheridan. Sheridan, yes.
Hi, this is my first time here.
Hello.
Amazing. I just am wondering if, um, with the focused concentration of the group and the enhancement of the piece as we were surrounding the globe with that, do you see that as being impactful or instrumental in how we will move forward together and what's happening globally?
Yeah, I mean, so when the energies are coming in, it's really they come in and I just share what happens. So, it's not like I send the intention, it's really the energies are doing that. And so I guess it's needed that they come in. So in that case, the peace energy. And I see in general that, so what I saw today specifically is that a lot of people are basically on a subconscious level, but some on a conscious level, they look for peace, but they don't know where to look and how to get it. And when these energies are coming in, so this vibration, their system picks it up, right? And they get the information of peace, and then the system knows where to move towards. Same here, same what we do here, but also happens, yeah, for other people, who are open to receive this. And I definitely see that, things are changing in the future, but the change is going to happen through us. It was also said in the meditation. Um, and however this is going to manifest, I have no idea. So I don't have any predictions here. I just see when I get this information, then I see the future that it's very high vibrational and there is a lot of light there. Um, yeah, and so that means the manifestation of that in our life experience is also going to be a lot better, but I have no idea what it exactly means. But there is definitely a big impact, yes.
Thank you so much.
Mm.
This is absolutely beautiful.
Great. Yeah, thank you so much for joining and for being here today. Yeah, very amazing. Thank you. Great question as well.
Oops. Hi, hello, Eva.
Yes, hi Nahuel.
Hey, can you hear me well?
Yes, I can hear you.
So, yeah, I wanted to share with you my new song. It's the first time I'm launching. Is that the word? Song. And so it's a mantra song. Love is vibrating, and I mean it would be an honor if you use it for your your playlist on the retreat and all that.
Okay, so do you gonna send it to me, the file?
Okay, yeah, it's on a Spotify, but I will send it to.
Yeah, because then I can listen to it and then I can see if it,
Yeah,
if it
sure.
fits. Yeah, great, great. So you're recording songs?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
recording.
Yeah, great.
Great,
Yes,
thank
of
you.
course, it would be great yeah, to have it on the playlist if yeah. I
Oh
just
wow,
listen to it and then I'll see
thank you.
if it qualifies.
Yeah, sure.
No, I don't know how you sing. I've never heard you singing, Noel.
So I send it to your email or
Yeah. To the email, yeah.
okay.
info@emhealing.com.
Look,
Hi,
I
Eva.
sent. Uh, I haven't had a reply yet from another email that I sent. I don't know if my emails go to your spam or I don't know.
So where did you send it to? To info
For
emhealing.com or Next Elevations?
next elevations.
Okay. And when did you send it? Like a few days ago or just recently?
Like 2 weeks ago,
Ah,
I
okay,
think.
no. Okay, so if like it just happens every now and then that emails, are not being sent or not being received. I have no idea why. And if you don't get a reply from Next Elevations within like 2-3 days, please resend it because there you get a reply quite fast. If you send it to EM Healing, it can take a few days, like it can take up to a week until I reply. But I do reply, and if you don't get a reply, please resend it. Yeah, I don't know where they go. Unfortunately, this happens. Yeah. Also, when, like, for example, we have a group and then I send out the group recording, and even people have registered with the specific email address, and then they get, the Zoom link, they don't get the email afterwards. I have no idea why. So it just
Uh,
happens. Yeah. So yeah, please just resend it. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Eva.
Okay.
Wonderful.
Thank
Eva,
you.
I have a
Hi,
question.
Michelle. Yeah.
Hi, Eva, a couple of weeks ago, I was sitting in an office waiting for someone. And all of a sudden, my whole field of vision, everything was golden. Like there was an overlay of golden on everything. At first, I thought it was my glasses. So I kept taking off my glasses and cleaning them, putting back on. It's still golden. I kept doing that because I didn't know what it was. And it lasted, and then I felt very high. Like I felt like I had taken a drug, like, back in the day when I took drugs, right? Like recreational drugs. And I was sitting there, I was looking, everything was golden. I was like, God, I'm so high. I'm just so high. I don't know what this, like, I don't know. And it lasted for about a half hour, 40 minutes. And
Oh,
then
wow.
everything went back to regular color. What is that? I don't know what that is. I don't know what happened. It happened out of the blue. I wasn't doing anything special, just sitting there.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds very beautiful, and there can be moments when we have these openings. I mean, I can't say for sure if it was like the phase of now I have to remember God consciousness. So this is when like everything opens up, and this is typical. Everything looks like it's gold underlaid. This is also how I experienced it, and it's just like, yeah, you just open up to something that is also there until it closes down again.
Right,
And
right.
it's just so beautiful to have these openings, and it's amazing that you had it in your office as well. I always had it in nature. Yeah,
I was in a,
but
I was in a doctor's office. I was waiting for my doctor. And I was just
yeah,
sitting there minding my own business, because there's nothing to do. I don't even think I had my phone. And all of a sudden, bam, like I just keep having these different experiences that I don't know what they are. So I don't
Yeah.
really know what to do about it, or I guess there's nothing to do. I don't know.
I mean, there is usually nothing to do with experiences except for experiencing them and, enjoying them while they're there, and then they come and go. And this is in general what happens with spiritual experiences. They come and go.
Yeah, they
And
come
I
and go.
always recommend not chasing them and not wanting to go back or anything like that. It's really okay. They come in, they show you something, I mean, when you experienced it, like what were you thinking about? Like what kind of information came to you? Also look into that because it's always very personal to somebody's spiritual experiences. Yeah, but if I like have to put a name on it, there is this phase of God consciousness, and that means this can open up like these experiences where it really feels like it opens up, and then everything is golden underlaid. There is bliss. There is so much bliss there. You felt it in the body. It seems
It's
like because you said,
incredible.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So here, I guess here's a deeper question, is that, does it really help me in any way? Like, yes, I have a lot of experiences like this, on and off. They come, they go, they come, they go. Is there anything that helps? Like, does it set up anything deeper than that, or it's just the experience? I don't know. Like, is it really even helpful at any level?
Yeah, I mean, the question is on which level? Like, life experience is also just life experience. Is it helpful? We're just experiencing it, and this is how I see
Right.
spiritual experiences as well. I mean, and then I say it's personal because maybe you need to see that there is something else as well. Maybe it helps you to release fear. Maybe it is, you can
I see.
connect to something, a greater part of yourself. So there is always, yes, there is always something really, but
Yeah.
on the
I
other
guess
hand, yeah,
it's like, does it, like, is spirituality cumulative? Like you have openings, and then it's like a camera, that the aperture opens, then the aperture closes. Like, is it a cumulative?
yeah,
Is it
but this is the experience now, and eventually, we want to have open like this openness just there all the time.
right, right,
And
right?
so you get like experiences to see, okay, this is possible, or this is where you need to look or can look into, or you just know, okay, there is more, so that you can open, you can expand into it, you can allow this to happen. Yeah. And
Okay.
we become more of that. And also to see, okay, we're not just this limited human and this is the only experience we have, but there is like so much more, and this is shown to you. And
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I've seen. I've seen that there's just so much more than what I
yeah,
see. In my daily life, like, it's like behind the scenes or something. You know what I mean? Like, this other stuff's
yeah.
going on behind the scenes, and I'm just walking about my life. Yeah,
Exactly, but this is becoming more aware of who we are. This
Mhm.
is part of who you are, and this
Yeah,
is how it's shown in your experience. Like that there is actually more, which there is, and it's
yeah,
just gonna happen more and more. Like for everybody, this is what this process is about. Like we become more of who we are on all levels.
yeah.
Yeah, and
All
also
right,
this
thank
one.
you.
So yeah,
Thanks for listening. I never
great.
know what
Yeah, very
to do
amazing.
with
Yeah.
these things. Thank
Yeah, yeah,
you.
yeah. And always when this experience come, we can just enjoy them because they will never come back exactly in the same way. Because I'm saying this because I have people who say, "Yeah, I had this experience 40 years ago and it was so amazing, and I want to have it again," and so forth, or they work to have this again. But then I say, "Yeah, but it was 40 years ago. You're totally different now." Yeah, it
Yeah, yeah,
cannot come back again in that kind of way. But yeah, it's great to have them to know that there is just more. There is
yeah.
more than what we think or
Then
what
what
we
we see. Yeah.
thought. Yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, great. Thank you very much. And then also, like every time you have a spiritual experience, what's the personal information that comes through? Like what comes through for you? What are the thoughts around this? What is it showing you? Is there something opening in your system because this is there? Because usually it's like that. Usually it's like that. It helps to expand. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, yeah, great. Thanks, Michelle. Yeah, anybody else?
Hi, Eva.
Hi, Tammy.
What do I do if I feel I can't really focus or get into it so much? I feel like I'm not progressing as fast as I would like.
Mm-hmm. And what do you exactly mean you're not progressing and with the focus? Can you describe it a little bit more that I understand?
So if I want to do a meditation or listen to a healing, sometimes my body's restless, so I'll want to walk while I listen to it. Is that okay? And what I meant by it, like sometimes when we do the healings, I really relax. My body relaxes into it, and sometimes like today, just in my thoughts, like I can't get into it. And what I mean by progress, like I can't relax as much and just like feel the energies. I'm tense or distracted, and I'm trying to feel them, but I'm not relaxing. That's what I feel. It's not working. And what I mean by progress is like, I guess the amount of relaxation or positivity or higher energies in my life, it doesn't seem like it's progressing, but it's like so much still negativity. It's like not progressing as fast as I would like.
Yeah, I get it. I also always want to have very fast progression in all areas, but unfortunately, this, like I always say, this is this progress. And when you look back, so let's say you look back in a half a year back to this moment, and then you see what actually happened. It's always a lot, but the thing is, there is always more coming up because there's just more clearing and healing that just needs to happen. This just goes on for quite some time. And also, so you had quite a few questions now. So basically, patience is a big part of it. Just patience, just continue doing it, and don't have any expectations. That's the most important part. Don't have any expectations. Just do your regular meditation practice. And for example, if you feel restless, still sit. Just sit. Like it's the same as you go to the gym and you train, and there are days where you're very tired, but you still go to the gym because you want to, keep up your training schedule. And then you just do it, right? And it's the same here. You just do it. It's part of your daily life. Um, and you do everything else in your life as well. The problem is if we focus on this work and then we have expectations, so we feel like we want to get out of the life experience we currently have by doing this work. You know what I mean? Yeah, and this is then the problem because it's all about we are in the present moment and making the best out of it that's possible. This is basically what I always talk about. Focus on what you prefer in the present moment. And this is what then and this in and doing this work, so connecting to the energies, this was what is showing then the results basically. So it's not about, okay, meditating and we don't like our life experience and hoping that meditation takes us out of there. It's really like, it's both. So we also have to choose in our everyday life experience what we prefer and not connect to, if possible, to low vibrational energies on the outside. If they just come up because of healing and clearing, that's different. This is just part of this process. Yeah.
Connect to what we prefer, you mean, in terms of our thoughts and emotions?
No, it's basically yes, not really. So what I'm referring to is really like making choices like that are for you. Usually people make limited choices, like based on limitations, choices based on limitations. You're not good enough, you're not worthy, you learned something from the past, like from your parents, from society, that you should do certain things in a way. But when you really listen to yourself, like what you would prefer to do, you would actually do something different. And then do what resonates, what you feel is the right thing and not what you have learned. And this needs a little bit of awareness, right? So we need to be aware, okay, we actually make choices that are not for our personal highest good, but they're based on something we learned or certain programs in our energy field.
So you're
Yeah.
saying it's not just about continuing on with the life and then trying to find, because, peace is an inside job and all of that. So it's like as if it doesn't matter what you change on the outside, you really have to just change on the inside. There's a lot of that kind of thought. But you're saying, no, also make choices
Yeah,
that
because I
bring.
mean, we have to make choices, right? And I'm just gonna bring up an example. So, for example, you would really like to go to a nice five-star spa hotel when you go on vacation, but because your parents always went camping, you feel like, okay, you need to go camping because this is just how holidays need to be spent. Just an example, right? And so when you plan your holiday this year, you plan to go camping, right? And when you're at camping, you're like, oh my God, I would rather actually sleep in a five-star hotel or whatever. You know what I mean? Like this is just an example. So you make a choice based on something that you have always done or you have learned from your parents versus you would actually like to relax in a good hotel. But you don't allow to make this choice for yourself because of certain limiting beliefs. For example, it's too expensive or because no holidays have to be spent in a tent. This is how holidays need to be spent. It's just a stupid example, but you know what I mean. Like I just want to
Yep.
point it out, make it very, very clear. So we often make choices because we think we have to make them in that way versus what would you actually like to do? And it's not even major choice. It's like a vacation. It's really like based on everyday life experience, like every day. So what do you like to do? So another example, in my family, always when there was nice weather and we spent time inside, my parents were like, oh no, go outside because it's so nice outside and you can't be in here and so forth. And so I often forced myself to go outside and I felt like there was so much resistance of going outside. Then I was outside, okay, and then I was walking around in the sun and it was hot and I was like, okay, great. Versus I would have just preferred to stay inside. This was just a small program, I inherited from my parents, but it was like, it had a major impact in my life because I would just rather have stayed inside and I don't know, read a book or something, But it was so strongly in my system that I felt bad staying inside when it was sunny outside.
I know what
I
you
mean?
mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many
And we
with
do we
me.
have hundreds of these things in our systems and this work brings awareness, starts to bring awareness. So it's going to be pointed out, you are in a situation and you would make the same choice as you usually would. And then seeing, hey, wait a minute, is this actually what I want or what I believe I need to do? And this, more of them will come up and then you can actually start making the choice that you prefer versus something that you think you have to do. And
That's
this is a daily life thing. So this is where we start. We start in the present moment on every day. So it's not major choices like a job, changing job or relationship or something like that. It's really the small things. And then this means also this means so much because first of all, we let go of old limitations. Second, we start listening to our intuition and it becomes stronger because, the more we practice to connect to it, the stronger it gets. And this is then when we start raising our vibration because the more we connect to something that resonates. Okay, it's not even like brings us crazy joy or anything. It's really just that resonates with our core being more versus something else. This raises the vibration also, and then life experience is changing accordingly. Yeah. So it's both. It's inside because we have to become aware. We have to get rid of all like the noise in there. We want to go to the silence and eventually connect to who we really are or connect to it more and more and more. So, we become more aware of it and also then integrate it into our everyday life experience and integration in also in the way that I was just sharing.
That makes a lot of sense. I think one thing, like, I understand a lot of what you're saying, but I think one thought that still is there for me is that thought you would say something about, in other words, I don't know what will bring about to my highest vibration. So I can understand if my parents told me something that they prefer, let's say, or that they think is good, but for me it's not resonating, to start to pay attention to that. But then trusting like what I like or feel good with, like it's very hard to know what is from the programming. And also, is that just like something that's a lower vibration leading me versus something that will bring me to my highest good? Like I get very confused.
Okay, so the highest good is like also unfolding process. You know, we can only work with what's available in the present moment.
Mm,
So, you know, okay, let's say in a year from now, you can probably make different choices, not better ones, different ones than you can do now. Let's say when there is still a little bit more going on. Okay, so this is a fact. So we can always work with what we have. And by doing this work, you become more aware. So this is always what I say in the beginning. When we start this meditation, I say the more awareness comes with that as well. And the awareness comes in all areas. So also in the area of understanding this is a program, this is an energy I'm just following for the sake of following it, or it's a habit. Also, like the most of the first layer is usually a habit, underneath is like this energy then. And we start to understand more how our system works. So what is actually you, and if you look for yourself, you're not going to find yourself. This is where you are. You can't find yourself because the true nature can't be found. But everything else that's not of you is like it's just part of the human system. The thoughts, the emotions, and all these other energies that are influencing our life experience. And yeah, we become more aware then. Okay, I'm actually not my body. For example, I'm not the body, and it's not just a understanding on a level of the mind, but it's an experience. Because first, usually, it's like you observe. You probably have that experience already. You observe at the same time your thoughts, the emotions, and the body functioning, right? So you have the experience of all of it at the same time. And that means you are something else. You know, you're not just the thoughts or the emotions, because you're observing everything at once. So that's there already. And then also observing how the system works. So for example, when somebody says something to you that triggers something up, just observing this, oh, this person said something, oh, this hurts in the heart, or there is now this emotion surfacing, or there is all this anger surfacing, and that all these thoughts are also coming together, you know, these angry thoughts. So this is like, yeah, and just observing, okay, this is how it happens, this is how it works. And that's a big part of it, and that's very important too. And then there is like, over time, we just see more and more of who we really are. We have more and more of that experience versus what we're not. And this changes a lot as well, because then we even less buy into information and manipulation and energies that are in our system that are not of our highest truth.
mm-hmm. Thanks, that's really helpful. I was using your like clearing surface energies for a couple of days. It was working. Like I would walk on the street and notice that I'm tense or something, and I would kind of just try and, you know, sink deeper than the surface energies, and it worked really beautifully.
Oh, good,
but then
yeah.
it stopped working, and I'm like, oh, I'm not progressing.
Yeah.
You know, it.
Oh,
I
yeah,
get,
but it's like, I just recommend, okay, do a meditation every day. So do the Thursday meditation, or come to a group session, or do next elevations, or do both, you know, whatever works for you, but just do it every day. And then also just live your life experience in the way that resonates. So try to do the things that resonate, that, you know, even though you're following probably programs in the present moment that are resonating, that's absolutely fine. But like first is really learning to, okay, I follow what I have available. So everything I have available right now from that perspective, and I follow what I prefer, what feels true, what feels right for me in the present moment. Because that's already a lot. You know, that's already a lot to do, because usually we don't even think, we just follow the programs, and that's really it.
Yeah. Perfect. Thanks so
Yeah,
much,
and this
Eva.
takes years, you know, this takes years and years. This is unfortunately not like a few months. and then it's done. And then
Mhm.
also it takes basically probably all life. Yeah, but it gets a lot less over time. So yeah.
Perfect. That was helpful. Thanks so
Yeah.
much, Eva.
Okay. Thank you, Tammy. Hi,
Eva,
Tim.
how are you?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Good. Couple of thoughts based on what Tommy is saying there. One is like the paralysis of analysis, it's just stories. And, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi said that when we sweep the floor, we're going to kick up some dust. And, the dust is maybe the negative stuff or stuff we don't want to see. But I think if we just accept that and go for the long haul, it's going to take a while, like you said. And I think you had experiences too. There was a rough spot, in your early awakening, wasn't there? As I recall, when you were doing TT or something,
Oh
you were,
yeah,
doing,
absolutely.
maybe you could talk about that a little bit so people are encouraged that, hey, it's not going to be like this forever.
Yeah, I mean, there were times where there was definitely like so much surfacing for months and months and months, and it was really like, oh my God, I also felt like I'm not progressing, and like, will I ever find my way out there? Because we all like have a sense of how it's supposed to feel like. I mean, I always had this sense how I'm supposed to feel like, and this was definitely not like with all this stuff surfacing. But I just knew I had to move through this. Um, and it's still like things are surfacing and they just need to move out of the system. This just continues, but how the experience of it changes, because you become more aware of who you are, the system becomes more open, the stuff can just come up and then move through a lot faster. Yeah, and so this is just this process, but I guess when there is just more openness and more awareness, there a little bit more, you just absolutely know this is just how it is, and then you just continue. But when I did TT, because you pointed this out, for example, there were really like a few, like probably I don't remember how long, but quite a few months or weeks, more weeks, where stuff was surfacing nearly every day, like so much stuff. It was crazy. And then after probably a few months, it was only like every second day or every third day something was surfacing, and then it was only once a week, and then it was a lot less. Like really triggers in the system. Now the experience of it is very different. There's no triggers really. It's really just, okay, I see something surfacing from the past, and then it's there, and then it moves through. So it surfaces, but it doesn't do anything. The system stays exactly the same. The piece is always there. Yeah, so it's really just more the information of it that comes up and moves out. Yeah. And then sometimes it can feel more like I guess it can feel I'm more identified with it, and then it just takes, like, let's say, instead of 2 minutes or 1 minute, it takes like 10 minutes or something, yeah, to move through. And this is when I talk about the openness of the system. So when the system is open, whatever is surfacing is there in the present moment, we experience it, and then it moves through and it moves out. When the system is contracted, or when there is resistance, when we hold it there, when we identify with these energies, then it just stays there for longer. So we can be in it for a couple of days or even more days. And then until it moves through. So when we do this work, and normal people, who don't do this work, they can stay in these energies for years. So it's also possible. And then also what I want to share is because I think Tammy kind of touched on this. I'm not sure if you actually meant it in that way, but when I say a more joyful life experience, I mean, I'm just going to describe it a little bit. What do I exactly mean by that is life is experienced as a flow. So everything is just happening in the present moment. It comes, it goes, it comes and goes, meaning that the system is just open. So that there is not any energies there that are holding the experiences in, but there is just a full acceptance in the present moment. Okay, whatever is being experienced is experienced, and then it moves through. And because to even get there, to this openness, the system has already gone through quite some healing and clearing. And that just means life becomes simpler, because usually the problems we're creating ourselves, most problems, or maybe I'm not going to say all problems, but nearly most problems we create ourselves. And when the system is quite healed and cleared, then they're just not, there's nothing that creates the problems. And then also, and then life becomes a lot simpler. So just very simple. Because when a lot falls away, a lot of wants and needs falls away, a lot of energies where before we would have needed to take a lot of actions and do things on the outside, to change a lot of things on the outside that we feel better on the inside. But because this is all falling away, there's a lot less to do. And then also when the system is open, and also then receptive at the same time, we all have a certain potential in this lifetime. And this can then also, when the time is right, so the potential is not like, it's not that everything is there at the same time, but when it's needed or when the time is right in that kind of way, then the potential is just accessible. And then when it comes in, or when we see it, we can act on it, because it's there, it's very clear. Also more clarity is there, because when there's less going on in the system or hardly anything, the clarity is just there. The intuition comes online, just there, intuition. You get information from your field, not from, it has nothing to do with the mind. It's just information is there, it's in your field, and then it just comes in. And then also when you get like the information, okay, something needs to be done, like take the next step, do something, then you just do it. Like usually before there would be energies there, oh, don't do it, and this could happen and that could happen, and don't get out of your comfort zone, and you never know, and oh my God. And then because when this is all gone, you just see, okay, this is something I need to do, and then you just do it. Very simple. Then also when limitations fall away, we can step into more abundance. Abundance is something that's there for everybody anyways. If we don't experience it, it just means we also have limitations there, because abundance is just something that's there, like the true nature is also there. If you don't experience it, it just means the system needs to open up and expand more. You need to become it. It's always there. And so same with abundance, more abundance can come. It's just something very natural. So also looking in that direction is interesting. It's just interesting to explore, hey, what kind of limitations do I have there around abundance? And it's just a few things to share. So this is what I mean when I say life experience becomes more enjoyable. So it's probably not as, let's say, most people think, oh, this is the most optimum life. I don't know what that would be for people here. For some people, maybe it's only vacation, never working again, and I don't know, having a hut on the beach, or maybe a house on the beach, and that's it. I don't know what it is, but it's not like that. It's really like the way of perceiving and experiencing life, also experiencing yourself. So the ego moves into the background, the small self starts to dissolving, the life story starts dissolving. These are all things. It's just very important that who you think you are, which is just a story, just over time becomes less and less, until this just falls away. So there is really just the experience of you in the present moment, and the rest, all the stories just fall away. Yeah, and there I could go on, but this is just a few examples. So a little summary of what I mean with that. Yeah. Okay, anybody else? No. Cheryl, hey.
How long do most people need to stay on the karmic cleansing enhancer?
Yeah, so I recommend a few months to get the main stuff out. So we have this saying in German. I've never heard like an English saying that kind of is similar. Wenn man übers Gröbste drüber ist, oder wenn man über den Berg ist. So this would be the German saying. And this is like, when you have a mountain and you have moved the massive, the high mountain aside, and then you can just walk on the other side, like this, when the biggest amount of the karma is being cleared, basically. And as reference is when there's just, so first when you go on, you experience stuff, moving through, and then just when there is less and less, and eventually you feel like there is, you feel there is not so much or hardly anything, then you can turn it off.
So are you saying that we'll get triggered?
So it is programmed that things are moving through in the smoothest possible way. How your experience of this is, I don't know. Everybody's a bit different. So I guess for some people it can be, let's say, a little bit more surfacing, and for some people it is really like a passing through of stuff. But yeah, most people share that they feel that there is definitely stuff happening. So yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Hi, Dale.
Hi, Eva. Thank you very much. My question again is with last person there. I I definitely felt when I did that online with you, felt great, and I felt like I moved. And you kind of explained it with the last question that yeah, it takes you got to go over the mountain to feel, the relaxation and everything else. I guess it's an individual question. It's just that I don't feel like it's been a couple of months now, and I'm still on the enhancer, but I'm still not feeling any. I don't know. I'm not looking for bliss or anything. I'm just looking for confirmation that the karma is actually, either dissipating and or I'm getting through it.
Yeah. So you look for confirmation. So how can I mean, this is what I said to Cheryl. And every system is processing the karma a bit differently, right? So this at
Yeah.
first, I know for some people it's more intense, and for some people it's more like, okay, there's just stuff moving through. In general, when you feel or when you experience like clearings, like how do you experience them? Is this like like, let's say, a more profound experience, or is it more subtle? Like, how do you experience it?
Uh, I would say settle. I wouldn't even recognize it happening.
Okay. Oh yeah. Good for you.
Well,
Yeah.
that's the other problem. I don't know if it's actually happened or not. So of
Yeah.
course,
No, but in general, I mean, when you like, did you ever have, or did you ever experience, let's say, where you said you were like stuff was not just on the enhancer, but in general, where you felt, okay, there is actually stuff being processed?
there are times when I do feel that. Like I know I'm an individual, and it happens differently with everybody. It's just that with um, actually feeling the confidence that it's working, I just don't have. So I know that's me, and I've been doing
Mm.
this for quite a while now. And I know it's my blockages. I know I have more than the usual amount of blockages to unclear. So I'm just curious because I still have the enhancer, and I'm wondering as well how long I need to stay on it. Well, not need to, but
Yeah,
until
I
I
mean,
actually feel something or
yeah, I mean, I can't say honestly, I'm very honest here, because you have to know, or you have to feel, um, there is so there is just less there now, or there's less being processed. I mean, another way of looking into it, for example, could be, okay, also how is life experience changing? Like, does it feel smoother? Is there less triggers or no triggers? Like on that level, and also on the level of meditations, like when you meditate, do you feel you can go deeper? For example, this could also be like a, what is it called? A clue, a what's the word? Yeah, feedback,
Feedback. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Well, I do get feedback every Thursday. Thank you very much, because the meditations are the best that I've experienced. So every week it's actually growing. So I'm very grateful for Thursdays.
Yeah, I'm happy that you hear and that you like them so much. And with the enhancer, if you feel like you don't have so much feedback, I just ask you, please go with your intuition. If you feel, okay, it's the time to go off it, you don't think
Right.
you need it anymore, then just get off it. And if you feel like, okay, there is definitely something happening, then stay on it. Yeah.
Okay.
But this is in general with the enhancers, because
Oh yeah.
they're there for a certain amount of time. You use them, and when you feel like, okay, I don't need support in that area anymore, you just let it go. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. Great.
I'll be more
Thank you.
patient. Thank you.
Thank you, Dale.
Thanks.
Hi, Veronica.
Hi, Eva. I don't know if this will help with Dale's question. I I know that sometimes when I do some of the sessions with you that really that involve, sorry, that's my son in the background. Um, Karmic clearing, I tend to have feedback in dreams. Sorry, I've got my little son here. He's being kind of silly. Um, anyway, I'm gonna keep this short. I tend to have feedback in dreams, kind of where the karma is being cleared in the dream, and I can tell that it's a very certain situation that I've been dealing with. So I don't know if you can maybe speak to that. Do we get feedback in dreams? Or, I mean, it seems like I do. That might be something that he could maybe focus on too.
Yeah, great. Thank you for sharing. So that's definitely a possibility,
Talon?
to see it on that level as well. I'm just gonna mute you, Veronica. Yeah, because there is the noise. Um, for example, that level, or also somebody was sharing that they had addictions and they just fell away, or another person was sharing that they had to take strong medications and they're down to like a bare minimum of the amount they were taking before. And so like it can show in all sorts of different areas, usually what it does to the system. So when I just look energetically, the system opens up and expands more. Sounds very simple, but it's major, because this is really what it does. Because from a limited system where a lot of stuff is in there to an open system, so it's open and a lot bigger, because the limitations make it small. And then when we remove the limitations, we just become more of who we are. So this is really energetically, but how then the system perceives it can vary a little bit. Yeah. And usually, or yeah, not usually, but quite a few people have shared that when stuff is moving through, it's still, uncomfortable stuff is surfacing. So for quite a few people, it is uncomfortable, even though, it's programmed um, to show up in a way that it's, that you can still move on with your day and do your everyday life experience. Because karma clearing, when you just do karma clearing, can be quite intense. It can put you into bed for weeks. You can be sick, you have an illness, you can break stuff on your body. There can be a lot of stuff happening, and it's programmed in a way that it doesn't do that, so that it shows in the least influencing way of your life experience. So this is how I programmed it. But people still feel stuff just moving. There is stuff coming up. So thanks, Veronica. Yeah, thanks for sharing. Great. Okay. Yeah, perfect. Then I think that's it for today. Great meditation, great Q&A. Thank you for all the questions and also sharings. It was wonderful to be with you all again. So have a wonderful rest of your day and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Thank you for joining.
Bye. Thank you, Eva.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.